Don't pop, I jumped on.
All right, this is the first step. We're gonna unbox this Bambu lab. So first thing we're gonna do is take everything out and put it on the table. Gonna take out those pieces. We put the Bambu up here that we just took out. Here's some of the garbage from our box. When you go into the box, you're gonna see 3 rolls of filament and you get a mystery toy. So take those out next. Oh, this time our mystery toy is a piano. So now you're gonna take all the garbage, and we've been putting it back in that box. So Alex is gonna put that garbage back in the box, because it makes a better garbage can than our garbage cans.
Taking off the...
So we're gonna take off the paper now, and you can look at the directions, but we found some tricks and shortcuts that really help for what we need to do. So go ahead, let's take that off.
I've done this with 2 others.
All right, back on taping.
You don't have to take all of it off. You don't have to take it all off. Yeah, because we're going to be... Yeah.
There we go, into your garbage box that we've created. And again, that'll go in the garbage box and off to the side. So once you've done that, we could take out some of the styrofoam. Yep, and we take out this box, which we'll need. And the next step is you need a, oh, I need to show them. Get your favorite 2mm Allen, okay? So that's my favorite one. And you need to take these bottom parts off so you can get the AMS out. There's 2 screws. There's number 2. Keep these screws, do not lose them, because we're gonna use them later on for your discharge, which I call the poop chute. So now you're gonna take that AMS out carefully and find a nice secure spot for it. Carefully, go ahead.
Plastic with this.
And it's definitely best to lay it flat on its, lay it flat. Perfect. Okay, so now the next step, we're gonna take out the, anything that, like that. We're gonna take out the cardboard, and in here, you're gonna see there's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, or those 4 screws right now. Those 4 screws next. So that's what we're gonna do. Same 2mm. Everything we're gonna do is the 2mm.
You were right.
I had that problem yesterday in last class. Now I have the problem.
So it certainly works great when you have helpers. And remember, the key is don't rush. Take these a little bit at a time.
Yeah, right?
And again, it's just those 4 so we can get this piece out. I'm gonna pause and come back to it in a moment. So we've just removed those 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we could take that whole piece out. And there's gonna be those screws in there that we're gonna wanna keep. So if you could tip them over and save those screws, we could tip it right on this table. Close the door so you don't, there you go, usually you could tip it over. Perfect. And that can go into the box, Isha. And the 4 screws we'll actually put in with all of our equipment for now. So open up that and put the 4 screws in there. Okay. Next step is we're going to make sure that the bed level, or the bed is loosened. So there's 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna get working on that now. So you're gonna get 3 of these screws done. Once you have all of those out, we're gonna put them in the box also. So we haven't found a purpose for them yet, but it's better to save it just in case right now. All right, now Anton's in a hurry to take this off, but actually I'm gonna wait because it might be in our way later and I'd rather not have things in our way. So at this point, your entire inside should be clean and everything should be taken apart. In the directions, it's gonna start telling you to put on the spool in the back and maybe even start connecting your AMS, and I'm telling you right now, that's not the way to go. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take apart our extruder and we're gonna put on, go ahead, you can rip that off. we're gonna put on a hardened steel extruder and better gears because you're gonna use stuff besides PLA at some point. So you should have 2 boxes. One is an 87. Where is it? Right here. 3087, and the other one is 3073. So we're gonna open them both up for you to take a look at. And the first thing that, well, we're gonna use them both kind of intertwined. So Isha took out our new extruder, and we'll compare this to the one that's in there. And Alex took out our new gears, and we'll compare it to what's in there. But, okay, so let's move this manually to the left and to the middle. And that's just a magnet, and you have to be very careful because it's actually connected right here. And we're gonna take that piece off. And again, we're gonna stick with the 2 millimeters and put that just off to the side. One of the things that we found helps is we're just gonna take off the old extruder first. So we're gonna take those 2 pieces off right away. And with this, while you're unscrewing it, it doesn't just fall out. So you're gonna eventually just pull it once it's all the way. The unboxing itself is relatively straightforward. This is not. So we're gonna spend most of this video on here for you. That one's out, just pull it out. No, pull out the screws. I got it.
Oh,
Now the other piece comes with these screws again, but we've just been reusing. All right, so now what Anton is rushing to do before I can get the video on is he's unplugging these pieces, and we're gonna untuck them from there. So go ahead, Anton.
Try to do it slow.
Yes, not.
can't get it.
I'm gonna pause and get back to this. Oh no, he's got it, right?
It's just, I don't know. The other one is.
Okay.
The bell just rang, so I'm on my own trying to film and do stuff. So we just unscrewed this, and it does just wobble right out. Of course it doesn't, because I'm trying my best to do it one-handed. There we go, just nice and down. And so I'm just going to show you a quick comparison of side by side. I'm not sure how well that this color comparison is coming out, but you could definitely see the new one is all black. None of that metallic look to it. So this new one we're not going to put on yet, but very soon. The old one is going to go into our box because I don't want to get confused. All right, it's now time to take off the extruder. There's 4 screws. They all use a 2 millimeter. So the first one is this arm, and you have to be very careful not to take this all the way out. You just want to loosen it enough so that the arm will then open up to the left. And you'll feel it as it's working. There we go. And you can slide this out, and this will get out of your way. So that's the first one, and then we have 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna pause this while I unscrew all 3 of those, and just keep them in a safe spot. These all are out. They all have the same threading, so orientation won't matter when you're in here. The next step is you're gonna wanna take off this tube. I mean, I'm sure you can work with it dangling. It's just really difficult for me. So it's one of the classic ones where you push down on here and pull the tube out, but I'm gonna need 2 hands. So again, I'm gonna pause it and do that and then come back. All right, this is now out. Now, if you ever drop any of your screws, that box that it came with will have spares in there. So, you know, that's helpful too. And you're just gonna wiggle this out. First, we're gonna unplug this. And then, sorry that my hands are in the way. We're gonna wiggle this out. I think there's gonna be a 2-hand thing again, so I'll pause and come back. All right, it just pulls right out, and I just put it on the table here to get working. So this is the front. Everywhere that you're gonna see the caution signs will be facing out, so later we're gonna connect these two. But all the unscrews are on the back. So this time orientation does matter. So when you take off these 4 screws, put them back in that order so you know which one goes where. All right, so I took out those 4 screws, and now you're just gonna wiggle this top part off so that you can get to the actual gear. And again, I need 2 hands, so I'm gonna pause it. All right, here's what the inside looks like. So this ball bearing, we'll replace it with a different one. This gear, we can loosen it, it'll pop right out in a minute. So we're gonna exchange our gears, and we're gonna exchange our handles. And over here you can see there's a little screw with a spring set in there, and as we loosen it, the spring will become looser so we can work with less tension. All right, I loosened this a little bit. I didn't take it all the way out. You probably can with no big deal. Just pay attention to how the screw looked. So we'll take this, and you can see again, we're gonna get rid of everything that's got the metallic look, and we're gonna switch it to gears that are all black. So I'm gonna put this somewhere so that I will not confuse the two. And then we're gonna take this out. I probably will need 2 hands, and sometimes you're even gonna need to pry it a little bit to get it out. All right, this is all the way out. I'm gonna put it with the other piece that I don't need. Really, it helps to take a good look at how the screw is set up. We got the little thumb piece, the spring, and then the screw. And when we put these back, we're just gonna put them in the same order we got them. So first starting with the arm. So I'm gonna do that now. So I have the arm on, but it wasn't all the way in. Now it is. I'm still gonna keep this a little bit loose when I get the next piece. And I'm gonna try to put this in. All the way down, and we're just going to use the 1 ball bearing. We don't actually even change the other. I didn't even think we have to change either of them, but there it is. Mine's in perfect. So now you're just going to screw this back in tight, and again, this is one where I'm going to need 2 hands. All right, everything's back together. I'm going to put my pieces, assemble them again, and it's a good thing I remembered where each one went. All right, I'm gonna tighten them up, and then I'll be right back. I finally tightened these up. So what you're gonna do is flip it back over so you can see the caution sign, and you're gonna bring this piece in again so you can see the caution sign. We're gonna flatten the closest spot underneath, and then the second one's just gonna be nice and flat. You see, just like this. And then you're gonna wiggle it into this spot right there. It'll go like right in between, and I'll put these together, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, they're back together now with the new extruder. You can see that this is sticking out the right side, and we can go back to using the same 2, or if you want to use the new ones, that's fine too. But they're the same, so we're gonna screw these in, and I'll probably need 2 hands to do that. All right, in full transparency, those 2 screws are really hard to put on. I don't know why. Some of them have been easy, but this one was not. And then same thing, you're gonna be putting this back in here. Sometimes it snaps in real easy, and other times it doesn't. There's nothing to it. You just have to get it in the right angle and put it in. I'll probably need my second hand again. So I'll let you know when I'm all set with this. All right, it's in nice and good. You're gonna take the 3 screws from before and put them back in their locations just like last time, which is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm gonna put those screws in, and then we're gonna join again in a moment. All right, time to just do some more connections. So boy, this is tricky with one hand again. One, larger one goes down there. And then finally, this middle one will go in that middle space. I'm going to pause it. All right, so now you can see I put in 1, 2, 3. The next is right on here. This is going to go on the top piece. And then once we have that plugged in, this is just magnetic. So once this is plugged in, we'll just snap these on. And just like any teacher, get part way through and realize you missed a step. So we're going to unplug this. And I forgot to screw this arm back in. So you can see there's a little slot where this has to fit into. So just like that. And then you're just going to balance it and you're going to screw that screw in. Yep, you're just going to screw this screw in right there. Now that's perfect. And I got this wired up and it's just a magnet. So you'll push those pieces together and voila, we're almost there now. So we're going to put the top on this and I'm going to start getting ready for the AMS. And that piece is just for your display. We're going to put the top on, nice and easy. Inside of this box, this is where you'll find your display. And I might need a second hand. So inside the display, you could see we have the female adapter to the male adapter, and you're just going to put this in, and then the legs will go in, and then you're going to slide it to the left, and that'll lock into place. So I'm going to work on that now, and you should too. All right, it's locked into place now, and while I was at it, I put the AMS up top. It just balances on there. We can take out the spare tubing. This will be just going into our box. There's some tape. We could take out this part. And then if you want to, inside of here, you've got more of that desiccant bags, just right in there. But I've been reading some people leave them, so at least for a little bit, I think I'm gonna leave them in here. That will help dry out some of the filament that's waiting. So we can always replace it, or you could take it out completely, or you can leave it. So we're gonna do everything with no filament in it to start. It's gonna do a test print down here, not a test print, just a testing. Down here you could still see this foam is in all the spots. I could probably take this one out. That was underneath here. But for the most part, our foam is there, and when we turn it on, this plate will raise and I can get that and any other garbage out that fell underneath. So now I'm gonna go around to the back. So to connect the AMS, this tubing just goes into the side, just like that. Inside of here, you've got some of your connectors. So we'll just unwire it. So the first one is a 6-piece, so a 2x3. So really you're just looking for other 2x3s. So you're gonna plug it in and here. All right, and then my next one, there's a spot underneath, right under here. You can see it. So we're gonna plug this in. and here. So this opening right in the back, that is gonna be, I call it the poop chute. That's what you'll find it called online too. So this is where all of the discharge will purge out. So your first print, don't make a benchy, don't make anything else. I would make a poop chute right away so you can catch all the material, and I'll explain that in a little bit. And the next thing is we'll get it ready to plug in, and then I'll show you what the next steps are. All right, so I'm gonna turn it on. So one of the things that you should note is, first, unless you have your person with you right away, your IT department with you right away, I would do all the stuff to set up later. That's what I ended up having to do. So make sure that you read the user manual. I did. I don't know if you want to, you can. It's gonna ask to make sure that we took all the screws out of here, which I hope that you've been following the directions, but there should be 1, 2, 3, all empty. And make sure you hit next if it was. North America. This is how you could set it up on Wi-Fi. So if you're doing it at your house, like you could just set it up at your house, but at work, you need the IT department. So set up later. Terms and conditions, yes. I'm gonna skip. I think I joined the first time, and then it's gonna run a self-test. And again, we don't have anything in here. The self-test isn't actually running any printing parts. So it's just checking the status of your printer, and while you do that, as you can see, the bed level is moving. It's just testing that all of the parts are working. So this is where we take these out, and this will go into our box, which I'll do later. So while it's self-testing, we're going to take this off. There's a little tape over that's the USB, micro USB. No, I'm sorry, it's a micro SD card. Anyway, if you're like me, your computer doesn't have a micro SD, so I had to pick up a USB to micro, a micro SD dongle. This has a ton of amazing practice prints in there, but I said it before and I'll say it again. Don't make this your first print. What you're gonna do, and I'll show you in a little bit, we're going to take all of our stuff from the Bambu site, and we're gonna save it on here, and we'll print the poop chute. So you'll have a little bit of stuff flying off at the beginning, but it could be much worse. The next step, when this is done self-testing, even before I get that ready to go, is I'm gonna load the filament, and you can load whatever flavor, whatever colors you want. So I'm gonna pause this and show you how to do that next. All right, when it's all done, it's gonna say it's done, you're ready to enjoy. I'll press OK on finish. And the next part is actually loading this, and you are gonna love how easy this is to load. So I just picked 3 colors. You can use the ones it came with if you want to. I picked blue, black, and red because I wanna have some new colors. So it's just taped here, and that's fine. So to load and unload is so easy. You don't have to press load or unload buttons. It automatically loads and unloads in between. So you could try to set this up however you want. I'm just gonna try and cut it. Let's see if I can do that. And you're just gonna put this piece inside of here. Now it doesn't go in all the way until you push this thumb button forward. So I push this forward, and then this will go in. So, boy, I wish I had a tripod. I'm so sorry, Jeff and Michael. All right, I'm gonna pause and be right back in a moment. It just starts loading it all the way on its own. All right. I'm gonna get the black one. So just trying to get prepared while So now the blue one is just loaded in to the close wire, but not all the way into the machine. Same thing with this black one now. I'm gonna try my best. Can't do it, pause. And it's just that easy. And then the red one, and again, you could fill up all four. So if you want to, if we look here, I have some this is blue, white, and then I have the support filament there. You don't need support for everything though. You don't need a special support. So this is what I'm doing. So once I have these loaded, I'll show you how to print. All right, so I'm gonna do this red one, and the next time you see me, I'll be over at my computer. So this is the Maker World. If you are connected online, then it is so easy. If not, it's really not that difficult too. So I would search online models for the Shoot for Waste version 2. It looks like this. This has been my favorite. So those screws I was telling you about before, not to lose from the beginning, you're gonna put 2 in here and 1 up there, and you're gonna just take out screws that are already in, and it fits snug. And it's much faster than this one, which I liked before, and it's definitely not going anywhere because you just screwed it right in. So anyway, when you open it, it actually gives you several different options. So I've already been preparing it. So I'm keeping this to standard, a shoot for standard feet, because I don't have the anti-vibration feet, and I'm going to use the small container because we don't make stuff that use that big of a container. Make sure up here that you've put it to the Bambu Labs P1s. If you're connected online, there's this option right here which will synchronize with your AMS, and it knows exactly what you have because there's an RFID code. If not, it's okay. Like I have 3 filaments, so I'm just gonna add a 3rd one. In the drop down, you could pick, you know, was it silk, was it PETG, was it ABS? So all of mine were PLA basic, except that I went blue, black, and then red. And honestly, you don't even need to change the colors. It just makes it much easier for you to understand what's what. So down here, change filament. I'm gonna print this in blue. So this has the chute and the back part, and I'm gonna print everything in blue. Okay, so I plugged in my dongle already, and so I have my micro SD card already plugged in. We've got the tree supports enabled, and to print it, you're gonna slice the plate. So I could really slice all plates, but I want them to be 2 separate files. So just give it a moment to slice the plate. It generates, and then on the drop down, if you've got a connected Wi-Fi, you would just say print, but if not, you're gonna say export. And then you actually have to click the green button for export, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna put it in there, and perfect, Shoot for Waste version 2, save. Then I'm gonna go to number 2, and export sliced plate, and then this is called container small. And then when it's all done, you'll see this option down here to eject. And now it's safe to remove everything. And then I'll remove this. Heading back. So you're gonna plug this in. It actually goes, which way does it go? My goodness. Oh. Goes like that. So on here, this is your main home. This is really fun features if you want to change your speed to be faster than 100%. Sport modes like about 1 1/4. Ludicrous is like 1 2/3 the speed. This has all the information that you would need if you're connecting with your IT department. And then this is your actual micro SD card. So I'm gonna print the chute first because that'll be the best thing to contain it. So I'm gonna press OK. I'm closing up my AMS, locking it into place. It says, do you want to print? I say, yeah, it'll take about 5 hours. And that's it. So the actual poop chute, I'm gonna go show you in a different one. It'll look like this. So now all of the waste that purges out will ship around the corner. I leave a mess right there. So it'll look something like this when it's not being used, but that's it. So I hope this helps, and good luck assembling yours. I gave you a lot to do.